Okay.
Because
Namaste.
we don't want to waste precious time of Christopher sir.
Sir,
Namaste.
sir,
Namaste.
good afternoon. Our president is going to talk about, introduce and talk about Mr. Jatin Christopher.
Bhatta sir, please allow Sridhar Parsar to start the meeting, please.
Yes. Please, sir, go ahead.
Welcome one and all. So today, we are very fortunate to have Jatin Christopher, CA from Bangalore, and we are very fortunate to have a dynamic personality, and we can call him as a living encyclopedia in taxation. So welcome, Christopher sir. So this is the right time. So actually, we have to discuss about detail about the budget. So now I welcome Vishnu Tirtha Jamkandi sir to introduce and to begin the meeting. Sir Jamkandi sir, welcome.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. First of all, I welcome Jatin sir. So kind-hearted to accept our invitation to elaborate, to enlighten about the union budget happened yesterday. Welcome you, sir. I welcome our President Sri Nanjun Prasad sir for this discussion, and I welcome all the vice presidents and district association secretaries, my office bearers, presidents, everyone to this meeting. So without wasting the much time, so yes, members, one thing I have to share with you. Whatever your queries, questions about the yesterday's budget, please post it in the chat box, so that after elaborate discussion with the Jatin sir, each and every your query will be taken up. Since we are having only 1.5 hour time and sir has to move after 3:30, kindly bear with us. Don't interrupt in the meeting with the session, sir. And my request to our President Sri Nanjun Prasad sir to deliver his presidential address. Prasad sir, please, 2 minutes.
Yeah, thank you, Vishnuji. Good afternoon. Actually, this session is very, I think, useful to our members and fraternity. So, one more feather to our cap, Mr. Jatin Christopher sir, to our fraternity, because he is sir lot of from the beginning, and also he is speaking in Kannada. That is also very good one benefit to our fraternity. So I first of all thankful to National Chairman our Sridhar ji, Chairman of ITPI. So one thing I want to interrupt you. So today we have the meeting with Defense Minister Mr. Rajnath Singh. So that is 2:15. So then I am moving towards there by car, by driving. So, Vishnuji guidelines, you please give in clear. And I request our Jatin Christopher sir, please give one booklet or small tips. I mean, like one presentation. We need that also. That is very helpful to our fraternity. So, thank you. Success, all the success to. I will congratulate. I will wish the success to this session. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your addressing and concern about our members, and your highly appreciated our today's speaker, who deserves very much there, sir.
Vishnu sir.
Sir, from now we will start a discussion with, I think, BT Manohar sir has joined, sir. Sridhar sir.
No sir, yet not joined sir.
Oh, okay. Let it be, sir. So this is the now our respected well-wisher friend and guider, Sri Jatin Christopher sir, will start his opinion about the union budget on indirect taxes, as well as, if time permits, under the direct taxes also. Now I humbly request Sri Jatin Christopher sir to take the charge and just deliver the highlights and educated, sir. Thank you, sir. Kindly unmute yourself, sir. Jatin sir, kindly unmute. Okay, thank you, sir.
All right. ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. GST ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಆಗಿ ಬಜೆಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸಾಧಾರಣವಾಗಿ GST is not a topic in the budget. ಅಂತ ಈ 3 ವರ್ಷದ ಕೆಳಗೆ ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಭಾವಿಸಿದ್ವಿ. The reason being, any amendment in the GST law require a prior approval of the GST council. But ಈಗ ಏನಾಗಿದೆ, budget has become an occasion to set right the law. Wherever court has given a judgment or there is a practical implementation difficulty, budget has been an occasion to set things right in GST. ಕಳೆದ 4 ವರ್ಷದಲ್ಲಿ 4 ಸರ್ತಿ ರೆಟ್ರೋಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಅಮೆಂಡ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಂತ ಸಂದರ್ಭ GST ನಾವು ನೋಡಿದೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ಕೀಪ್ ಇನ್ ಮೈಂಡ್.
Sir, excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir. Christopher,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Sir, you can talk in English, sir. We have the members across the country.
All right. Thank
Please,
you,
sir.
sir.
Please, sir.
So we have to therefore keep in mind, budget is not an occasion for GST. It is an occasion for direct tax, customs, some part of central excise changes, etc. But because of the changes in the law that is forced by court decisions or practical challenges in implementation, budget has become a time for making various changes. Now, when looking at indirect tax proposals relating specifically to GST, the very first point to keep in mind is all the amendments made in the Central GST Act will come into effect only after all the state GST Act introduce amendment in the sister legislation. Because as you are aware, GST is a dual tax. There is CGST, there is SGST on all the intra-state supply. So without an amendment corresponding in the state GST law, only central GST law amendment would not be in accordance with the GST scheme itself. So therefore, whatever amendment we saw yesterday, in direct taxes, amendments will take immediate effect. Amendments will take effect from April 1st. But in GST, amendments will not take effect until it is amended in the state GST law, 28 states, 2 union territories with the legislature. So keeping these aspects in mind, members need not be worried that suddenly just now I am learning about certain new provisions of GST, whether all those changes will still be relevant or any of the changes will be outdated. Continue to please read, especially the amendments made effective from January 1st, 2021. All those important amendments which you have deliberated, those amendments continue to be valid. This is the first point I want to bring to your attention. Next point, what is missing in the budget is most important. See, budget has many things. I'm sure as all keen readers of this law, followers of this law, students of this law, you have already read the various clauses introduced in the budget where amendment is made. Now I want to touch upon amendments expected but missing in the budget. Point number 1, transition credit. Number of courts have given judgment that anybody who has missed out the transition credit, please take the transition credit. Government should open the portal. Government should allow the credit through 3B. Every court has given a solution according to what the court is feeling is the correct justice. Government is very clear. Government is confident. Government is decided to ignore all the court decision because government probably has got legal opinion that Supreme Court will quash all those high court judgments. As you are aware, all those high court judgments are now pending before Supreme Court, where government has filed a SLP against those judgments. So keep in mind, we have to notice what is missing in the picture, not what is present in the picture. What is present in the picture you have read. We have time this afternoon to go through. Transition credit, anybody who has missed the bus, government is telling very clearly, I am not going to come to your rescue. I am not going to help you. I am not going to give any solution. If you missed it, very sorry, nothing can be done. Finally, they are concluding the chapter, because after 4 years, there is nothing more to be done. There is no need to wait for one more budget, as if it can be done in 2022, but it cannot be done in 2021. The next aspect which is very important is, anybody who has missed the time limit to take the credit as per section 16(4), again, nothing to your rescue. Please be very careful. It is easily possible to give a removal of difficulty order stating that 17, 18, 18, 19, maybe 19, 20 also, anybody missed the time limit, another 6 months within, if you have taken, it is okay. But such an amendment is expected but is missing. So please get ready, inform your clients that that amount of belated credit is under 90% risk, 90% chance that there is no possibility to save that money. 10% again we have to wait. Why we have to wait 10%? Because the power to give a removal of difficulty order under section 172 is available with the government till 30th June 2022. So 10% chance is there. Now you have to take a decision practically what you want to do. Point number 3, missing in the budget. Construction credit for letting out of a property. There is a Orissa High Court judgment that since you are earning rental income and paying the GST, input tax credit for constructing the building should be given to such a landlord. This amendment was expected in the law to give some clarity, but this issue also government looked like very confident, no need to make any amendment. Against this Orissa High Court judgment also government already before Supreme Court. So therefore government looked like very confident that construction related credit is totally lost, no need to be given, no need to rescue taxpayers. So look at it from that point of view. The part that is coming out clearly from these missing element is, there is no confusion from the government side, confusion only from taxpayer side. Taxpayer very much hopeful, I will get this, I will get that, it is my right, it is my birthright, all words have been used, but government is having one consistent language. From July 2017 till today, government is communicating one simple clear message: if you follow the law, you will get the benefit in the law. If you don't follow the law, I will not come to your rescue. So 3 most important elements missing in the budget. 3 most important elements missing in the budget. Now, again, clause by clause analysis. I'm not such a fan of clause by clause analysis. I'm a fan of what is the benefit for the audience. Now, for all our association members as professionals, what is the opportunity? What is the danger? So I will start with the danger. Then we will go to the opportunity. Opportunity, you are more capable to capture all the opportunity. The danger, I will tell you, section 75(12), there is an amendment proposed stating, even without giving an opportunity of a hearing, we can attach your bank account and take away your money in 2 cases. case number 1, where you are filing GSTR 1, but the turnover in GSTR 1 is more, GSTR 3B turnover is less. There are a lot of legal explanation for that. For that, we will have another program to explain the legal provisions. But today, practical things we are discussing. The danger number 1 is, please expect if your GSTR 1 turnover is more, GSTR 3B turnover is less, 2 problems taxpayer is likely to face. Problem number 1, registration itself can be suspended under Rule 21 from January 1st, 2021. Already amendment has been made in the rules. Registration will be suspended immediately. We are thinking that we are having GST number, but it is already expired medicine. You cannot use that GST number. That is the seriousness. Now, whether they will give you notice, they will call you, sit, have meeting, discussion, give you 15 days time, nothing doing. Immediately, they can suspend your number by giving REG 1, REG 17 or REG 31. Please be very careful. For this, the medicine is make sure registered mobile number is up to date. Registered email ID is up to date. You are getting any communication electronically or not regarding your registration suspension is the first danger. The second danger is when the taxpayer already admitted so and so turnover in GSTR 1. Taxpayer cannot say, I don't have the liability and pay tax through 3B for lesser amount. So the danger number 2, government has made amendment in section 7512 to directly go to the bank account, take away the money immediately, and the bank will give you intimation that so much money has vanished from your account. Please be very careful. Problem number 1, registration itself can go away. Anybody who is in government tender, those B2B cases, business itself will come to stand still if registration is cancelled like this. So please keep eyes and ears open because everything is now electronic. Yesterday there was budget. Today you see Jamkandi sir has organized immediately a program for benefit of members without even moving from your office. So that is the power of technology. Not only we are using the power of technology, government also is using the power of technology. Second aspect is money can vanish from the bank account without your knowledge. You are arranged, saved some money, you are planning to buy some machinery, giving some advance to suppliers. Suddenly you come to realize that the money is vanished. What are you going to do? Nothing you can do. Why? The amendment says no need for notice also. Why no need for notice? Isn't it my right, my fundamental right, natural justice? But sir, you only told that you are having liability 5 lakhs. By showing in GSTR 1, you only have told I am having liability 5 lakhs. Then why you are paying only 50,000 tax through 3B? When you are only admitting your liability, there is no requirement even under natural justice for one more chance. How many one more chance? Government says one chance only, which you have already taken. Now I will go to your bank and take the money. Now please see, there are some judgments of high courts. Karnataka High Court is there, Madras High Court, Jharkhand High Court. There it is very clearly specified that notice is compulsory. But here is an amendment to upset even the High Court judgment. Now with the new amendment, even High Court cannot say anything. So that is the danger that we are looking at. The next danger, almost all of us are liable for this. Anybody who is having any interest liability, interest that is not paid. See, I have a self-assessed tax. The self-assessed tax, I have made payment after a little few days, few weeks, few months. The amendment says the interest that is payable on this liability also without giving any notice, directly amount can be taken away from your bank account. So my word of caution for members is, please expect money to be missing from your bank account. If you are knowing that GSTR1 is more than 3B turnover, or you are aware that return has been filed late anytime, 17, 18, 18, 19, 19, 20, 20, 21, anytime in the past, if there is any delay, please you yourself calculate and be ready, because bank manager will send you letter that, sir, yesterday I have sent out so much money from your account to GST department. Please be extremely, extremely careful. Another amendment has been made in section 83 to say, any inquiry, if the commissioner feel it is required, they can do attachment of property, attachment of bank account. There is no completion of the inquiry also. Inquiry started and the commissioner feels that there is a risk for revenue, they can immediately go to bank and attach or take over any property provisionally and attach. From this, the message I am getting, the message that I'm getting from the amendment is, please expect aggressive tax administration. See, it is not illegal. What government is doing is not at all illegal. Please expect aggressive tax administration. I know the jurisdictional GST officer, he is from my village. I know the assistant commissioner, he is known to my uncle. I know the deputy commissioner. All that is irrelevant. In GST, everything is a faceless, everything is electronic, everything is documented. So please be on your guard. Aggressive tax assessment provisions are being created. Now, somebody may say, this aggressive tax administration is not good for the nation. But please keep in mind, suppose all of us are registered taxpayers, everybody is paying GST, but I am not paying GST. I am taking some very adventurous interpretation and I am not paying GST. The law very clearly says, to do justice to society, government should not leave single person like me to take advantage of the law. So, justice to society, even if it requires injustice to individual, it is legally correct. So like this, for each individual, the law permits aggressive administration. So please be very careful. Don't have to wait for budget to be passed. Immediately make a note, instruct your team members, instruct your clients. There is some hidden liabilities. I am aware, you are aware, both of us are thinking department is not aware, but department is now aware. It is also having power to take away money from your bank account. Now imagine if your bank account is freezed, what is the effect on the business? Is it a 5% effect? Is it a 50% effect? Is it a 95% effect of your business immediately overnight? Please be extremely, extremely careful not to take these aggressive steps lightly. Next, related to this, what is going to happen? Advantage, I will tell you, there is an amendment proposed. There is a question coming up. I'll try and include that in our discussion. It is part of our topic, sir. Don't worry, I'll address that aspect also. There is an amendment proposed to say, in order to take input tax credit, there are 4 conditions. Condition number 1, you must have the invoice in your possession. Condition number 2, the goods or the services must be fully and properly received by you. Condition number 3, your supplier, the tax which your supplier has put on the invoice, that supplier supposed to pay the tax to the government, that you are supposed to ensure. See, if you want to go to Delhi, you only have to go to airport. You cannot buy the ticket and sleeping at home. Indigo Airlines people will not come to your residence and pick up you and take you to airport. So if you want input tax credit, you must make your supplier to be legal and proper in the compliance with GST. Condition number 4, whatever amount of credit you are interested to take, you are supposed to take in the 3B. Now everybody is complaining, sir, it is very difficult. I have no time for doing my business. If I start doing GST administration work, then who is doing business? The government is very, very clear. Lot of representations have been given. Government has told without telling. Government has told without telling through an amendment. I am not interested to help those who are not interested to help themselves. Government has told, I am not interested to help those who are not interested to help yourself. Here, I will share one point of view from the government side. See, it is not speaking for anybody's side. It is to interpret the law. The result may be for the assessee or for the government. I will give you one small illustration. If you go to court, the court will examine what is called balance of convenience. What is balance of convenience? Now you and your supplier, when I say you, I don't mean you, sir, I mean your client who is the taxpayer. If you and your supplier are able to come and have a meeting, discuss about the goods or the services to be supplied, the rate of pay charges, the quantity, the quality, the delivery schedule, the transportation, the packing, everybody can do everything. But nobody can take responsibility for payment of tax. The tax client is saying, I will give the full payment to my supplier. That supplier is absconding. How I am responsible? Now let us take example. Your supplier take advance payment and he has escaped. Will you keep quiet? Same situation now. Government is telling, you make sure that I get the tax, then only I will give you the credit. Not government. The law is saying, you please make sure that government receive the tax money, then only I will give you the credit. Now what happened? Finance minister also before lockdown traveled all over the country, meeting many people, discussing the problems, explaining, trying to understand. But you please see what, as a taxpayer, what we have done. We have taken complaining and criticizing the law beyond a certain limit. We have not made any effort to understand what is the problem from the other person perspective. Now resultant what has happened, until now we are having 4 conditions. Now there is a 5 condition. See, somebody was telling, what is wisdom? What is wisdom? Wisdom is to know when not to speak. We all practice regularly what to speak, how to speak, public speaking, private speaking, everything we are learning. We also need to know wisdom. Somebody said it means you to know when not to speak. Now we have spoken too much. We are told this law itself is rubbish, all sorts of things. Very, very sadly, also very, very harsh things have been told. Now the government has added 4 condition was there. Now it has become 5 condition. What is the 5th new condition? You are not only supposed to make sure what your supplier has paid tax to the government, you also please make sure he is filing GST 1 and 3B. So basically, you are becoming your supplier's assistant and office boy you have become. That is the extent it has gone. Now please see, in our bill passing process, see, every company is having, every client is having a bill passing process. Every time the supply is received goods or services, they will verify the quantity, verify the quality, approve the stores, the material, the bill will come to account section. It will be taken to the purchasing manager. He will approve for payment. 30 days credit, 60 days credit, whatever it is, you are going to release the payment. But please include checking of GST payment as one of the most important criteria for bill passing process. If we continue to say, no, I cannot do all those things, government is saying, I also cannot do anything for you. So please be extremely careful. Now, all of us as professionals, we can sit and sympathize with each other. We can meet in a physical conference and cry on each other's shoulder. But ultimately, show cause notice is coming. So please be extremely careful. It is not that we are not aware of the legal defenses, but please bear in mind, knowing that there is a big waterfall, you are supposed to be careful. You cannot say that I will go to the edge of the waterfall. Everybody else is supposed to protect me. That is not the way anything works. Therefore, a court also will not come to your rescue. Keeping this in mind, if 2A, 2B actually, Rule 60, Sub-Rule 7, amended from 1st January 2021, 2B, government is saying, I will give the information on a silver plate. Right in front of your screen, I will give you. If that also you cannot check and verify, then I am sorry, I will not help you. So please be very careful. If the credit is not appearing in 2B, then you cut the supplier payment. See, you are not going to pay the invoice and the GST and then say government should go and collect the GST. Please play your part. Whether this is legally correct, legally incorrect, whether it is fair, unfair, the responsibility of a tax professional is to only inform the client about the law. The responsibility of a tax professional is not to explain the logic behind the law to the taxpayer. See, whatever is the logic, ultimately, what is the law? All right. How many of us here are planning to go to High Court every day, leaving the business? Nobody. So therefore, anybody who is telling you, do whatever you want, we will go to High Court, I feel is telling you to jump off the waterfall and saying that don't worry, nothing will happen. Mostly you will be safe. That is not at all a prudent approach. So therefore, if it is not in 2B, whether you are advising the client or you are doing retainership service, if it is not in 2B, no credit in 3B. If it is not in 2B, no credit in 3B. Now the client will say, sir, what is this you are saying? I have already purchased the material. If it is not in 2B, why you are penalizing me? Because I want the credit. You please tell the client, do you want to pay 24% interest and 50% penalty? Do you want registration to be cancelled? Because Rule 21, another amendment made January 1st, 2021, if 2B credit is less than 3B credit, registration liable for cancellation. Now, what is this? This is not ease of doing business. This is very complicated. If we are not willing to change from VAT to GST, then it is complicated. If we are willing to change from VAT to GST, you please tell your supplier, if you are A quality supplier, I will buy from you. If you are C quality supplier, I will not do business with you. Government is enforcing a very tax compliant business environment. Anybody of our clients, can you please think they are interested to work with only crooked suppliers? Definitely no. Nobody wants to work with a crooked suppliers. Now the practical problem is somebody will say, sir, my supplier is a MNC company, sir, they will not listen to me. Or my supplier is a very small company. If I tell also, he will not understand. Please keep in mind, everybody is interested to take care of yourself. So if it is a very big company, request them to give all the details on the portal, because the biggest of company has more to lose by not being compliant. They are having a procedure which we need to understand. If it is a very small supplier, please call that supplier, help him to improve, because we are also responsible in our own way to help our fellow businessmen, MSME segment, help them, improve them, because if they don't get your business, they may be out of business. Once they see that you are trying to do something for their improvement, they will value you much more. So please be very careful. So 4 condition is not there. 5 condition is there for claiming the credit. If the amount in 2B is not matching, it should not be present in B. I cannot be more clearer than this. So please keep that aspect in mind. Amendment that is now further come about is the opportunity. I'm telling you, the opportunity. Government has said no need for GST audit. What is this GST audit? Only a chartered accountant, only a cost accountant can do this GST audit. That is not there anymore. See, it is not even a small suggestion. It is a permanent decision and an amendment in the act itself. So therefore, who is it going to benefit? All our association members, because the new rule, a provision that is introduced in section 44, it is saying the government will specify who and when, who it is applicable, when it is applicable, government will specify. Government will specify annual return along with a self-certified reconciliation statement. Sir, first point is very, very clear. What is it? It is impossible for anybody to understand accounts. Only a professional can understand accounts, because accounts is having mercantile system, cash system, hybrid system, and any new invented system is there in accounts. Some members are laughing because you are knowing the secrets of what is the reality in the business. Now in a GST, it is only a time of supply. GST does not bother about cash basis, accrual basis, mercantile basis, hybrid basis, or any other 21st century basis. GST is saying time of supply, accounts are in, you know what is the system. Both the document are different, but both is correct. So therefore, there is a very big contribution in the ease of doing business and in helping administration, that reconciliation is a must. If you don't reconcile, you know, in December what happened? Lakhs and lakhs of service tax notices issued. Why it is issued? Your income tax return and your service tax return not tallying, so the difference is deemed to be service. Your service tax return and your TDS returns are not matching, so it is deemed to be service. See, there will always be differences. Just because there is no difference does not mean it is perfect. Somebody was explaining, sir, 2 clients are coming to my office. One client, the books and the returns are not tallying. Another client, everything is perfectly tallying. Now, based on your experience, you please see which client you are going to be more worried about. The person where everything is not tallying, or the person where everything is tallying. In your experience, you will know when everything is not tallying, you know how to find out the missing areas. But when everything is tallying, you don't know where to search, where the fellow is hiding the information, you don't know. So therefore, it will not tally. But there is a way to explain. Now you imagine a department officer who says, you please explain the difference. Who is he going to come to for help? He will come to a tax professional only. So therefore, without the burden of certifying by a chartered accountant or a cost accountant, our association members have a wonderful opportunity to bring value addition to the client. Not only to the client, even for the department, because client is not able to explain accounts to the department. Client is not able to explain time of supply to the department. So therefore, your role is going to be very significant, invaluable contribution. But the challenge is, are you ready? Last 3.5 years, association office bearer, secretary, president are breaking their head, arranging meeting, arranging seminar, arranging training session in Fiscal Policy Institute. Everywhere effort is made, but it is a question that each person to answer personally. Last 3.5 years, what is my effort? Is it 50%? Is it 70%? Is it 100%? Is it 110%? Please be very careful. Today is a wonderful opportunity where there is no burden of anyone to certify. See, ultimately, whether a chartered accountant and a cost accountant are certifying or not certifying, ultimately, what is it? It is the client information. It is prepared according to time of supply for 3B. It is prepared according to accrual, mercantile, or other system for income tax. Now, the two have to be reconciled. So therefore, please be extremely mindful of this opportunity. When it will get notified, we don't know, but whenever it will get notified, by the time you should be ready. So it is not like we are having 5 years to read. It may be a few months before this amendment is introduced. So please be extremely vigilant about this new development. This is something that was never visualized by anybody, neither tax professionals, nor cost accountants, nor chartered accountants. But the result seems to be, because the revenue collected through DRC3 is very poor. Therefore, government feels that this compulsory audit has not brought significant value and revenue generation. Now, whatever is the logic and their reasoning, today you have opportunity. Are you prepared to grasp it, or are you considering to miss this opportunity? It will go somewhere, because ultimately everybody will file it. Whether you are helping or they are helping themselves, everybody is going to file it. So please go back to the returns, whether it is monthly payment, quarterly returns, or monthly returns, monthly payment. We need to make sure that we are doing timely compliance. 2B and 3B for credit, 1 and 3B for turnover. We need to make sure. As of now, the old provisions are only continuing. This amendment will take a few months. Once all the state government also amend the law, until then, 9 and 9C, no changes. Presently for 1920, 9 and 9C due date is 28th February 2021. So please focus on completing the immediate target. After that is where the opportunity will become more. Presently also opportunity is there, but after that the opportunity is more, because there is no requirement for external certification. Please wait for the rules where the commissioner will notify which is the industry segment, what is the turnover limit, where this reconciliation statement along with the, so it may be, I don't know, I am making a guess, maybe 9 and 9C can become merged into a new format. We will wait, but the contents cannot be something totally unknown. It is basically what we are doing. See, ultimately, basic raw material is the same, which is your accounts, which is your GST returns. If you, here in South India, we say, if you spread it and make it and cook it nicely, it will become dosa. If you don't spread it and keep it in small lump, it will become idli. That's all is the difference. The basic raw material is the same. So please be very careful. Again, further amendments to look at. This interest provision, very, very important for members to consider. Interest provision, even now, even in the future, it will always be on the gross tax liability. The only provision that is inserted is, if 3B is delayed, then interest is on a net liability. Suppose there is a turnover totally forgotten. Department issues notice. Department comes under scrutiny. They do audit and they discover. Please keep in mind that time it is on the gross tax liability. But only 3B delay. 20th you have to file, you are filed on the 30th. 10 days delay, there you are paying on the net tax liability. There is a ineligible input tax credit, some motor vehicle credit somebody has taken, some restaurant bill somebody has taken the credit. That credit, when it is demanded, the interest is on a gross tax liability, gross amount. It is not on the net amount. So please be extremely careful. Very, very important provision. Members have to be very careful because there is a lot of carelessness by the client, the supplier, and the transporter. E-way bill. E-way bill, if there is any mistake, there is no such thing called big mistake, small mistake. There is little bit poison, one full bottle poison. It is all dangerous. Second important point to mention is, it is like emergency treatment. Vehicle is intercepted. What should you do? I will only give you 3 tips. Why? Because section 129 undergone some changes in this budget, making highly strict and rigid procedures. 3 tips I will give you. Please remember, this is emergency treatment. No time to discuss what is the patient's name, height, weight, profession, income bracket. Emergency, immediately drip, immediately you have to stop the bleeding. Otherwise, it is dangerous for the patient. So that kind of urgency we should show. 3 tips. Point number 1. Whenever there is an interception of vehicle, please make sure it is a mistake or there is no mistake from your side. Now, what is a mistake? Details in part B wrong. Details in part A wrong. Vehicle number in part B wrong. Why it is wrong? Why you never understood somebody else made a mistake? All that I'm not interested. Part A details, is it wrong? Part B vehicle number, is it wrong? If it is wrong, silently accept, pay the money and come. There is no discussion only. That is allowed in the law. The amendment made in the law, it says it is final. No appeal, no hearing, nothing, no need to waste anybody's time. It is emergency treatment. Next, if there is no mistake, but there's some interpretation issue that is raised. When the vehicle is intercepted, there is an interception. You are going to Belgaum, but your project site is in Mysore. See, these are all interpretation issues. Step number 1, you please ask for release of the goods on furnishing security. I will not make any cash payment. I will only give furnishing security. Bond will be given, bank guarantee will be given is the first step. In writing, give one simple letter. Vehicle has been intercepted on so and so date. Please allow me to furnish a security. Payment I am not willing to make. First point. Second, immediately file a letter. Please give provisional release of the vehicle. Please give provisional release of the goods. There is no provision in the section 129 for the department to refuse. If you are willing to give a bond, remember this MOV8. MOV8 is the bond number. You are willing to give the bond, they have to release. See, because bond is only an undertaking, you release it. After that, you see as per law, what is interpretation, what is not interpretation, all that can be seen later. Step number 1, offer to give security and not cash payment of penalty. Step number 2, ask for provisional release. Step number 3, collect show cause notice. Presently, show cause notice has to be issued, order has to be, hearing has to be conducted, order has to be passed. But today what is happening is the transporter is collecting the notice and he is going to sleep. 10 days he is not communicated the notice to anybody. So step number 3, whoever is collecting the notice, immediately immediately it has to be communicated as to what need to be done. Discuss with your tax professional, ask for advice. What is the next step? 3 steps: furnishing security instead of cash payment, request for provisional release, collect show cause notice, and decide next action. Now, once you are collected show cause notice, after provisional release is allowed, it is no longer emergency case. You can shift the patient from ICU to inpatient and then slowly start the drip, and tomorrow morning also doctor can come. But in emergency, don't try to do any major treatment, because most of the cases today, people have been very careless. They are trying to do some extra legislative methodologies. You understand what I mean? Outside the law, any methods that you are aware of, people are trying, thinking that GST is old law because officer is from the old law. Please keep in mind, no such discretion, because everything is online. If you see the circular issued by the board, very clearly, officer is having 3 days to finish the entire surgery. No time for meeting, discussion, nothing. So please be very careful. 129 has undergone lot of amendment. Next amendment that we are finding is, commissioner has the power to collect information about your business. When I say your business, your client's business, without your knowledge. How? Commissioner is having the power to inform mobile service provider, insurance company, bank, and railways, anybody like this who is providing large scale service to trade, to give lot of background information. So please keep in mind, government is aware more about your business than you are aware, because until the bill come to the office, you are not aware of the purchase. But government is aware. As soon as the e-way bill generated from your supplier, government is aware that the purchase is on the way. Purchase is on the way and it is going to be delivered. So please be very careful. An amendment is proposed to section 151, where commissioner is having the power to call for a lot of information. GST is not going to be face-to-face assessment. You will take the books, bills, sit with your LGST ward, explain the information, he will pass an order. Please keep in mind, in GST, you are the assessing officer. The invoice you are preparing is the assessment order, because in the invoice you are saying what is a supply, is it a taxable supply, what is the classification, what is the rate of tax, what is the valuation, what is your liability, everything is, what else is there in an assessment order. GST amendments in this budget is also telling the same thing. Once you have only assessed the liability, no need for any debate, discussion after that, because straight away it can proceed into recovery action. Please be very careful. When you look at the quantum of penalty when vehicle is intercepted, don't worry, some changes are made. Previously, it was tax plus 100% of the tax. Now here it is become 200% of the tax. There are changes. The changes are for legally. There was some issue. Some corrections have been made in the budget. But please keep in mind, this issue is very important. Next important issue is IGST amendment. IGST amendment, 3 important points I want to mention. 3 important points. Point number 1, everybody who is exporting, default option is LUT. Everybody who is exporting, everybody is supplying to SEZ, the default option, previously option, you can go for LUT, you can go for payment of tax, any option you can go. Today, default everybody is LUT option. Government will specify certain type of dealers only who can go for payment of IGST for export. Now, whether your client is coming under that category or not, for your client also LUT only option. That is point number 1. Point number 2, extremely important. When you are supplying to SEZ, please make the customer give an undertaking that the invoice you are giving, they are going to take the endorsement from the authorized officer of the SEZ. Sir, please keep in mind, I'll give an example. There is a SEZ company visited a car dealer, and the car dealer is a Innova car dealer. They visited the car dealer and told, sir, please give quotation. We are planning to purchase Innova car. Okay. He has given the quotation with GST. The company has told, we are a SEZ company, so we are not going to pay GST. Now the car dealer person is aware of GST little bit, but what happens? Big SEZ company cannot argue much. Sir, please verify if SEZ benefit is allowed for Innova car or it is not allowed. You don't argue anything with me. I am SEZ company. I am buying 5 Innova car from you. What are you talking? I will go to the company itself. So all these things happened. So the car dealer gave a quotation with a request. You are responsible for getting SEZ officer endorsement on my invoice. That's all, nothing further. You are responsible for getting endorsement from your jurisdictional SEZ officer on the invoice. They said, SEZ officer is very well known to us. We are a very big company. We will get the endorsement. So they have taken the pro forma invoice, visited the SEZ officer to do the endorsement. He said, get out. He said, you are a SEZ, very good. You are making software. Inside the computer, are you going to fit the Innova car? No, then I am not going to give you the endorsement. See, a builder, SEZ developer went to the SEZ officer and said, sir, I am purchasing cement and steel. I want endorsement. As you are aware, cement and steel, no input tax credit is allowed. But SEZ officer said, for the developer of SEZ, cement and steel, tiles, pipes, plastering material, bathroom fittings, carpets, electrical fittings, I will give endorsement. So the person deciding eligible for benefit, not eligible for benefit is the SEZ officer and not your customer. So when you are supplying to SEZ, sir, an amendment is proposed in the definition itself. Supplying to SEZ for authorized operation. Now, who is going to take the responsibility? You are sitting outside the SEZ. You are not in contact with the SEZ officer. SEZ officer is also online everything. So you please make a condition in your quotation. If you are getting any request from a SEZ in your quotation, please say customer responsible for endorsement for claiming zero rated benefit on this invoice. Please make this condition in the quotation. If the endorsement is given, you can sell aeroplane also without GST. If endorsement is not given, you have to charge GST. Whether it is computer also, you have to charge GST. So I hope I am very clear. This second amendment, extremely critical amendment, which you have to be very careful, because normally SEZ company, big companies, they are very tough negotiators. It may be difficult for a MSME supplier to stand up and argue. You please put this condition in your quotation, then they are responsible for getting the endorsement. Third amendment in this IGST provision. Whenever you are making a export, this is very different from a service tax. Whenever you are making a export of goods, export of service. First, I will explain export of service. Export of service is not a export of service if you don't collect payment in foreign currency. See, sometimes what happens, I have made an invoice, that time $72 rupees. Then I am receiving the payment, dollar is 70 rupees. Already I am losing 2 rupees. So many companies decided, I am going to send the invoice in rupees. All the multiplication and conversion of the dollars, you are only taking care of the risk. Please be very, very careful. If you don't receive the dollars or euros or any currency, it is not an export. Finished. Now export of goods. For export of goods, everything as per custom law, You are sending the goods to outside India, it is a export. There is a very, very clear provision that is inserted in the act. Last year itself, 23rd March 2020, one rule was introduced, Rule 96B. That rule is now in the act itself. What is the provision? For export of goods, you are taken any refund. If you don't receive the foreign currency, you have to give back the refund with the interest. I have exported the goods. Because it is as per custom definition, I have even received the payment. I received the refund amount. Automatically in 15 days, I received the refund. Now, if the payment for the export of a goods is not received, I have to repay the refund with the interest. Why you want to take refund if you are going to pay the interest? Next. Now, RBI is allowing 6-month time for repayment, for collecting the payment. The amendment proposed, so dangerous it is. Suppose you are collected the payment in 1 year. RBI is not so rigid. 6 months means 6 months only. As long as you collect the payment, they are giving condonation of delay. But GST law is saying 6-month time limit. If RBI has specified, you have to collect the payment in 6 months. In 7th month, if you collect payment, GST refund I will recover back with interest, even if it the foreign currency is collected from the customer outside India. So please be very careful. Timely collection of foreign currency is an extremely important condition. Don't have any negotiation terms and conditions of 6 months credit, pandemic, 8 months credit, 1 year credit. Then you have to say thank you, goodbye to all the input tax credit. Include all the input tax credit in your pricing and then only do the export. Please be extremely, extremely careful, because the law is very clearly presenting that no support for anybody, law, no help for anybody who do not want to help themselves. This budget, definitely I'm telling you, is a budget that is very clear. Whether it is fair, unfair, that experts will tell. Economists will give comments. For GST purpose, it is a very clear budget, very strict budget, no negotiation, no bargaining, no condonation, no relaxation. Follow the law or fall down. You have to follow the law. And the approach is minimum compliances, maximum automation. In our own offices, 3.5 years, we are doing manual, little bit of Excel, 2 screen we are opening, Tally, portal, copying the figures, pasting here, and you know all the very clever mistake everybody has committed. GST law does not have any provision. Even for innocent mistakes, there are consequences. Please remember, aggressive tax administration is expected. Aggressive tax administration is expected. Excellent opportunity for tax professionals who are willing to help themselves. If we are willing to help ourselves, excellent opportunity. Monthly payment of tax, quarterly returns, annual return, self-certified reconciliation statements. Ultimately, taxpayer will come to professional, because you are having the global picture of the business, the accounts, and the GST law. So this law, the more we see, the more it is going into the direction of aggressive tax administration, because one person like me cannot escape without paying tax. That will be injustice to the society. Now, related to these amendments, just a few points, sorry, if you permit, few points. What needs to be expected in the next 6 months? In the next 6 months, 17-18 is getting towards the end of the 3-year period. So please be very careful. Department is going to take strong audit and enquiry action. 61, 65. We had seminar about the various ways of assessment. Please be very careful. I only want to share with members 3 points. More than 3 points, then we will not remember. 3 points I will tell you. Point number 1, any communication from the department, don't ignore, don't ignore, don't ignore, don't ignore. It will come by SMS, it will come by WhatsApp, it will come by Gmail, it will come with DIN number, it will come without DIN number, it will come by post, it will come on the portal. Don't ignore, don't ignore, don't ignore, don't ignore. That is the first point we have to keep in mind, whatever communication we receive. Second, before rushing to give the reply, please find out which section, because under one section what action can be taken, under other section that action cannot be taken. So therefore you are supposed to be aware which section that notice is issued. I'll give you a small example. There is one person running a hotel. This person is having a hotel in Bangalore. He is having a hotel in Kerala. The person has collected GST in the hotel here. He has charged CGST, SGST, he has charged, but he has not taken GST registration for 2 years. Because he is having head office in Kerala, so he is thinking that Kerala registration is sufficient for all India purpose. And he has deposited the Karnataka CGST, SGST in Kerala. Now the department visited the hotel here and said, what is this? Last 2 years you're doing business in Karnataka, no GST registration. And he has showed the Kerala GST certificate. The officer said, no, Kerala GST certificate is not suitable for Karnataka. You have to take a separate registration in Bangalore. So the person has said, okay, sir, now I will take. Now last 2 years, what is the tax? They have done inspection, verified the books of accounts, taken all the details. And they said, okay, you are collected totally 11 lakhs CGST, 11 lakhs SGST, 22 lakhs GST you have paid in Kerala. Now, CGST you have paid in Kerala, I don't care. SGST you give me, they have given a show cause notice. See, it is not possible to drive a scooter with one wheel. Nowadays, some young boys are doing that also. But in GST, it is not possible. 2 wheels you require. Now, the officer does not know under which section to give the notice. He is having a telephone call with one of the senior professionals saying, sir, so-and-so situation has taken place. Under which section I will give the notice? So the second point for professionals to remember is find out which section, because under which section what action can be taken, what action cannot be taken, can never be omitted. The third point is find out if there is a time limit for your action, whether it is a emergency procedure for intercepting vehicle under 129, confiscation under 130, scrutiny under 61, audit under 65. For everything, there is a time limit. In the time limit, third point, you will know whether you have to take emergency action, immediately stop the bleeding, start the drip, give injection, or you can admit and do the treatment on Monday. So the third point is time is the essence or not need to be verified. 3 points only. Don't ignore, don't ignore, don't ignore, don't ignore. So make sure your registered mobile number, registered email ID, everything is up to date, latest it is there. Second, which section is the proceeding you need to be aware. Third, time is of essence or not need to be verified. Once you, this much is understood by the client, client's accountant, the transporter, the shipping department people, the sales people, if they understand these basic, then they will bring the patient to the hospital in time. Otherwise, a very experienced, knowledgeable, competent doctor is available to give the service, but patient only is coming after it is too late. So please make sure that we are educating our clients to ensure that they take GST seriously. GST is becoming more and more stringent because less and less discretion. Discretion is the root cause of all the miscellaneous procedures that are followed. Therefore, government is very clear, no such things to be done. Strictly follow, expect aggressive tax administration in the interest of society at large. That seems to be the message in GST. Now I hand over the session to you, sir. Any questions are there in the chat box? If time permits, I will take a few questions, sir.
Thank you, sir. So in chat box,
I'm just seeing few questions. If there is any, there is
please, please.
whether
You
ship
select yourself, sir, it will be better.
export, if invoice made in foreign currency, amount also received in foreign currency. This is a very, very important question. Everything in dollars. See, we are all very much fans of anything that is Western. Mobile phone has to be Western. Holiday also, we want to go to Europe, America. Nobody wants to go to Madikeri. Nobody wants to go to Himachal Pradesh. Everything in dollars is not an export is the most important message to convey. Everything in dollars is not an export, because for goods, there is a different concept. For service, there is a different concept. Need to examine every patient differently. All patient cannot give same treatment. So therefore, ship handling, it will not come within the export just because it is in foreign currency. Need to examine further aspect where is the customer for this ship handling contract. Interest applicability on gross liability or net liability. Yes, I will repeat this because of the seriousness of this issue. Whether the amendment is there or the amendment is not there in the GST law, interest is forever and ever only on the gross liability. Only one exception. Only one exception. What is the one exception? If the 3B is delay, only that time net liability. If 3B is not at all filed, or there is a demand from the department side for output tax or input credit, interest is always forever only gross liability. Only 3B delay, the relaxation is net liability. Yes. Even though credit is available in the ledger, because of wrong ITC claim, why interest on the gross liability? Now, sir is asking a question, above parliament level question is asking. See, why this is the, that I am very sorry, I cannot explain. Below the parliament level is GST Act. Above parliament level, if I try to answer, then I will be only giving my logic. That is not proper, because you are a professional, you understand why the logic, you can also explain, but the law only I am explaining. All right. 1920 annual return is compulsory or optional? Again, I will repeat. 1920 financial year, above 5 crore, annual return compulsory, audit compulsory. 2 to 5 crore, annual return only compulsory. Below 2 crore, nothing is compulsory, but it is advisable to file an annual return. Why? If you don't file an annual return is deemed to be filed. See, what we have filed, if they ask the question only, we are not knowing how to give answer. If something is deemed to be filed, we will be in bigger trouble. So therefore, below 2 crores, recommended to file only annual return. 2 to 5 crore, mandatory to file annual return. Above 5 crore, annual return as well as GST audit. GST 1 late. 2A documents available. Mistake only, not in 2B. Mistake only in 2A, not in 2B. Now what is happening? Sir is trying to extract an answer from me, which is most convenient for him. The answer from me is very simple. If all the members in the running race, complete the race, only the team is winning the race. All the condition must be fulfilled. Whether you are responsible, whether you are helpless, whether your supplier is doing mischief things, whether your supplier is helpless. Law is not interested to help those who are not interested to help themselves. Okay, that is the only answer, sir. Kindly excuse me, I am not giving answer that is suitable to your ears. I am giving you answer what you are supposed to hear from me. All right. ITC taken twice, but without utilizing, I reversed in next month. For this case, is interest applicable or not applicable? First, very honest gentleman, already agreed I committed murder. The only thing is the benefit of this I have not utilized. So first of all, please keep in mind from government side, you have committed something wrong. So there will be inquiry, there can be notice, there can be a very strong demand for interest. Just because you are innocent does not mean you will be ignored. Everybody will be taken to task. But since you are not utilized legally, there is an explanation that can be given so that after 5 years, somebody will give you favorable answer. So please get ready. This is a test match, not a one-day match, not a 2020 match. You have to play one innings, then other side will play one more innings, then one more innings you will get. Result will come only on the 5th day, and definitely India will be winning. That anyway we have seen how we got an excellent result. All right. At least government would have brought monthly return in R1 and quarterly in 3B. Now again, sir is giving recommendation to government. This is very high level topic, so kindly excuse me. I have nothing further to say in that regard. All right. Some more questions. Is LUT compulsory for export of services, app development from India for client in US? LUT is compulsory. Registration is compulsory to file LUT. But anybody below 20 lakhs doing export of services, anybody below 20 lakhs doing export of services, no requirement to take registration. Notification 10/17 integrated tax. 10/17 integrated tax, you can kindly confirm. All right, one more question, please explain. GST paid under, because here it is going away somewhere. 1 minute. GST paid under reverse charge on import of services. We are paying RCM. Whether to claim input credit under import of services or input supplies, liable for reverse charge. Reverse charge on import of services to be claimed under import reverse charge only and not under import. It is under reverse charge only. All right, another question. Credit is available in 2A this month, but not reflected in 2B this month. Can credit be available next month or later time? Please keep in mind, it is a cumulative condition. 2A is a dynamic document. 2B is a static document. Presently, the way the law is implemented is follow 2B. Follow 2B. Whichever month 2B is appearing, follow 2B to claim the credit. All right. One more question is there. Sir, you please stop me if I am exceeding the time.
No, sir, sir. I can read the question, sir. For some more questions are missed in the line, I think, sir.
I'll read. There is a self-certification of annual return and reconciliation. Is it prospective or retrospective? It is a prospective. It is not a retrospective because it is an amendment now proposed by the Central GST Act. For the State GST Act, the amendment will be made, then only everything will be notified. So therefore, please be very careful. It is not retrospective. Once it is notified, from that time onwards, we can find out what is going on. All right. I think most of the questions are, one new question has come in. Supplier has filed GSTR1. Instead of B to B, he has shown B to C. Can I claim ITC if I have invoice copy, payment detail, etc.? Please be very careful. Please be very careful. Supplier mistake also, you will be punished. So you and your supplier need to have a proper understanding that he needs to report it properly. Now, for the past period, if such a mistake taken place, please expect a notice and then fight based on the facts of your case. Because this amendment is introduced in 2021, there is a very good case that this condition is not to be followed for the previous 2.5 years. It is only for the future. But please be very careful. This should be an exception. Expect a notice, reply to the notice, then only you will get a resolution for this problem. But you are eligible for credit. Don't give up the money. Even 10 rupees falling on the road, nobody will say it is not my money and leave it. This is real money belonging to our client. We are supposed to protect the client interest. Notice started to be issued when we claim more than 2A. Yes, notice will come. Notice will come for all of us. And on a lighter note, it is good only that notice is coming. The problem is if we don't have an answer when the notice comes. If the credit in 3B is more than 2A, like the previous question one gentleman asked, please keep the alternate documents ready. Why 3B is more than 2A? If 3B is more than 2A and you are not able to explain the difference, then it is a big trouble. If you can explain that there is a mistake committed by the supplier that cannot be rectified, please collect any alternate letter of confirmation or any such proof, because it is not possible for us to say, I can't do all these things. Government only has to do all those things. Government is not going to listen to any such explanation. Please be prepared with alternative confirmation. All right, I think those were the only questions. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, some 3 questions have been missed in the beginning, sir.
So,
3 questions, sir.
Oh, yes, sir. Hey,
Sir, please do take up a
All right.
point to explain what to do when 2A shows ITC, but 2B does not reflect that amount. From Jharkhand, a question has come, sir.
See, in every exam, there is always one trick question. If you attempt that question, you will fail. Now, sir is asking a question. It is there in 2A, but not in 2B. It needs to be examined further. Why it is there only in 2A, but not appearing in 2B? There is no answer for sir's question in the law itself, because the law assumes that the data sanity will be maintained. It is a question of facts. We need to examine what is the reason for difference. Please don't give up any credit without a fight. Please stick to 2B so that you are complying with the requirements of Rule 60, Sub-Rule 7.
Sir,
Not sure if it was a satisfactory answer, but that is the only answer that is available in the law.
so the next question is,
Yes, sir.
taxpayer for want of funds avoided tax payment in 3B, but he is ready to pay along with interest in due course. Why direct attachment?
Now, this intention, this very noble intention person is having, government is not aware. So they are having the powers to do attachment. Whether they will do the attachment or not is a question mark. This secret intention, noble intention inside the mind, nobody is able to appreciate, because all the big famous people who did not even get bail in court, they are also telling the same thing, that they are having the intention. So therefore, please, law is very strict, no discretion. Discretion means corruption, so no discretion.
Can I claim ITC on the basis of valid invoice if the supplier is not uploaded the same in GSTR1?
It is like saying, can I go on a highway in a scooter without helmet? It is possible, but there will be consequences. In a lighter note, but I strongly advise you, please take the credit, be prepared for a notice based on the bona fides of your case. All clients are not going to be pakka perfect accounts, but please don't give expectation to the patient. When you are taking the patient to surgery, don't worry, 100% success. No doctor will say. Always before going to operation theater, have a small prayer to God, then take the patient inside. Like you are taking credit, have a small prayer, take the credit.
Can 5% considered between 2A and 2B?
Sir, this 5% only government is saying we are very generous to give you more than what is 2B. Now, 5% also will become 0%. After the amendment, because they are giving 20%, we are complaining it is reduced to 10% and reduced to 5% now. Government is saying, don't worry, we are proposing to reduce to 0%. If it is there in 2B, you take it. If it is not there, forget it.
Now 2A and 2B report can be downloaded in month level, not in the year-to-year basis. Can it be expected?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Sir, for Nepal export received in Indian rupee only, not in US dollar. Sir, how?
Where for services, for goods, I told you foreign currency. For services, there is a specific exclusion wherever government of India is having a provision to export to certain countries in rupees, then that will also be considered as export for a services. So please keep that aspect in mind.
If we not file R1 within time, then fee will levy or not? R1. Late fee, whether
Late
R1.
fee.
Yes, sir.
Sir, ನೀವೇ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಡಿ.
It is leviable, sir. 100 rupees per day, it is leviable.
ನೀವೇ ಹೇಳಿ.
Sir, when transporter come forward
All right.
to
So there is the
discharge
answer.
the penalty, when transporter come forward to discharge the penalty, how much penalty applicable as he was unregistered? Double the rate of tax or equal to the value of the goods?
Always penalty is double the tax. If it is taxable goods, double the tax. If you are going to contest the payment, you want to go on appeal, double the tax or 50% of the value of the goods, one of the two. Like I mentioned, 3 steps. Ask for.
Sir, is right time, sir.
Sir, Jay, 1 minute, sir.
3:30.
Sir, can I disturb for 1 minute, sir?
Sir has to leave by 3:30.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sir, we would like to have.
Sridhar, sir.
Sir, I am here.
We have to keep his words.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay, sir. Okay.
Okay.
Sir. Okay, please give the vote.
ನಾನು 2 ನಿಮಿಷ ಮಾತಾಡಿ ತಾವು ಕೊನೆಯದಾಗಿ ತಾವು ಚೇರ್ಮನ್ ಅವರು ಮಾತಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ನಾನು 2 ನಿಮಿಷ ಈ ಸೆಷನ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮಾತಾಡ್ಬಿಡ್ತೇನೆ.
Please.
Respected members, so 1.5 ಗಂಟೆ ಹೇಗೆ ಹೋಯ್ತು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ಇನ್ನು ಜತಿನ್ ಸರ್ ಇಂದ ಕೇಳಬೇಕು ಎಂಬ ತುಡಿಕೆ ಇದೆ, ಬಟ್ ಸಮಯದ ಅಭಾವ. ಯಾಕೆ ನಾನು ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ಇಷ್ಟಪಡ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಆಲ್ ಈಸ್ ಡೌನ್ ಟು ಅರ್ತ್. ಒಂದು ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಕೇಶನ್, ನಮ್ಮ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟೀಷನರ್ ಫ್ರೆಟರ್ನಿಟಿಗೆ ಮನ ಮುಟ್ಟುವಂಗೆ ಅವರು ಹೇಳ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಸುಮಾರು ಮೆಂಬರ್ ಫೀಡ್ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ ಕೇಳಿದಾಗ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು, ಇಲ್ಲ ಸರ್ ಜತಿನ್ ಸರ್ ಇಡಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ. ಸರ್ ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ಸರ್, ವಿ ಆರ್ ಗ್ರೇಟ್ಫುಲ್ ಟು ಯು ಅಂಡ್ really we are blessed, sir, to have a wonderful speaker like you, sir, because I saw in FPI also, sir, 3 hours ಇದ್ರೂ ಅದು ನಮ್ಗೆ ಸರಿಗೆ ಹೋಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ತಮ್ಗೆ ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟೀಷನರ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಇರುವಂತ ಕಳಕಳಿ ಆಗ್ಲಿ, ತಾವು FBI ಬಲ್ಲಿ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಸಿಪೆಂಟ್ ಗೆ ಗೈಡೆನ್ಸ್ ಮಾರ್ಗದರ್ಶನ ಕೊಡುವ ರೀತಿ ರಿಯಲಿ ಅದು ಅಪ್ರಿಶಿಯೇಟೇಬಲ್ ಸರ್. ಈ ಬಜೆಟ್ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಲವು ಚೇಂಜಸ್ ಗಳನ್ನ, ಅದು ಸಪ್ಲೈ ಡೆಫಿನಿಷನ್ 7 ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ITC ಆಗ್ಲಿ, ಆಡಿಟ್ ಆಗ್ಲಿ, EBB ಆಗ್ಲಿ, IGST ಬಗ್ಗೆ ವಿಸ್ತಾರವಾಗಿ ತಾವು ತಿಳಿಸಿಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀರಾ. ತಾವು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರಿ ಇದು ಒಂದು ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಆಪರ್ಚುನಿಟಿ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಪ್ರೊಫೆಷನಲ್ಸ್ ಗೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ. ಬಟ್ ಒಂದು ಸಣ್ಣ ವರ್ಡ್ ನಾನು ಆಡ್ ಮಾಡ ಪಡ್ತೇನೆ. ನಾನು 3 ವರ್ಷದಿಂದ ಈ ಸೆಕ್ರೆಟರಿಶಿಪ್ ತಗೊಂಡಲ್ಲಿ FBI ಟ್ರೈನಿಂಗ್ ದಲ್ಲಿ ತಗೊಂಡ ನಮ್ಮ ಮೆಂಬರ್ಗಳು ಜ್ಞಾನಾರ್ಜನೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ, opportunity to only a learned GSTP. If you understood the law, if you got through the smaller and smaller things in the act, then only we can sustain, sir. We can give a good guidance to the dealer, and definitely there is a exposure for the tax professional, sir. Hence the learned GSTP will survive in future ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ, so I recognize the presence of my Dronacharya Guru Sri Kodan Ram sir. So he has participated as a practitioner. That is a wonderful thing, sir. Thanks for your participation. And once again, on behalf of the association and entire members of the tax practitioners and the members who have participated, I wholeheartedly Thank you, sir. Thank you for your valuable time you have spared and enlightened us regarding yesterday's budget. We hope same cooperation from your end in the future also, sir. Please be with us whenever we call. We will not disturb you at your convenience. You please be spare with us, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, sir. So I request Mr. Sridhar Parthasarathy, sir, to enlighten in 2 minutes regarding today's session, and we will, and with followed by your vote of thanks, sir.
Sir.
Thank you. Over to Parthasarathy.
Sir, namaste, sir. Sir, only one thing I find this one, sir. I want only 2 lines request regarding section 7 and deletion of clause number 7 in schedule 2, sir.
So 7, there is a decision that was given by Supreme Court in October 2019 stating that clubs, association, resident welfare association, other forms of bodies where memberships are given, service tax is not applicable. That was the decision of Supreme Court. To avoid such an interpretation to come into GST, an amendment with retrospective effect is proposed to be introduced in the definition of supply itself, saying an association and the members, Supreme Court said, is one and the same, therefore you cannot have a supply. But this amendment is saying association and a member, they are 2 different persons. Whatever they are doing, they are supplying goods or supplying services, simply coming and having meeting and sharing the expenditure of the meeting and presentation, all of those activities comes within the definition of supply. Such an amendment is proposed. Since this amendment is already proposed in section 7, para 7 of schedule 2 no longer relevant. So therefore that is also removed from schedule 2.
So it is retrospective.
Parthasarathy, sir.
Retrospective,
Sir,
yes.
sir, sir, Kodandram, sir. Kodandram, sir.
ಕೋದಂಡರಾಮ್ ಸರ್ ಸರ್ ಒಂದ್ 2 ನಿಮಿಷ ಮಾತಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಇಚ್ಛೆ ಪಡ್ತಿದ್ದೆ, ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ಅವರಿಗೆ ಅವಕಾಶ ಕೊಡಿ ಸರ್.
I
Yes,
can
sir.
add something. Christopher, first of all, your session is excellent here. I learned a lot as usual.
We are all your students.
But you are welcome in our Nasin and everywhere. I really applaud you for that. Secondly, about sections, the amendment done to section 7, Parthasarathy is asking. I think we have written long back about the mutuality of interest.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Not only the service tax we lost both service tax as well as VAT. Under VAT, it said you cannot sell goods from one person to yourself. There is no question of selling myself. So the primary holder of a club cannot serve himself, and therefore VAT is not liable. Similarly, the services. But as per the article I had written down in the chartered accountant, in GST time it is not applicable. But to make it much more sure, because there is a chance of interpreting that one person cannot be another person, mutuality cannot be there. So they brought it emphatically to prove that
Correct.
mutuality of interest is no more applicable in the GST regime. That is the
Correct.
purpose. And therefore, any activity of the clubs are to be taxed, including by the member to the members, other members also. That article I will forward, kindly serve it to people.
Yes,
Because
sir.
in case yes, this one only. Second aspect, especially about the exports and imports. I can take 1 more minute.
ಓಕೆ ಸರ್.
If you look into IGST section 2526, export of goods, export of services. Then import of goods, import of services. In all this, the most complicated issue is export of services. Import of goods and export of goods has 3 conditions. So also the import of services, not that important. It is easily understandable. But as far as export of services are there, it is having nearly 5 conditions. This I have been telling whenever I am teaching IGST, that you should take this as a special issue. Merely getting a foreign exchange is not export of services. There are other things, because This export of services is used for trade-based money laundering activity. So to discourage it, sir, when money is coming into India, dollars are coming into India, why don't you treat it as export of services? When money comes, you must be very happy. That is not the criteria. The money comes is bad money. It's a kind of a unlaundered money. We do not want. So we want to see that accounting happens there properly, and therefore to avoid trade-based money laundering, this has been brought in. Kindly look in as Christopher G. So this should be very carefully understood. Other than that, e-way bill, he has explained beautifully. In fact, that's the way e-way bill. There is no discussion now, and it is a separate channel of activity where you should be prepared all the time. If you do err, how to remedy, excellently he has given. Kindly follow it. With this, I complete my talk. Thank you for giving the opportunity.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Sir, from this session, I have recorded only 3 lines from you, sir. One is, don't bargain, because bargain may also bar the gains. And the next word is the wisdom, the art of living, that is silence. No loss, no loss. And the next word is, law is always a law, case law is always a case law. So with this, I sum up, sir, and I thank you one and all for attending this session and making it a grand success. And proudly we say, a paperless, cashless, and faceless, an Atmanirbhar budget. Thank you, sir. Thank you for your all kind blessings. Thank you, Vishnu Jamkandi, sir. Thank you, Christopher, sir. Thank you, Dronacharya, sir. So thank you one and all the members, Sudhindra Rao, sir, and Sharma, sir, and our Nanjunda Prasad, and one and all. Thank you. Happy day, happy career. Namaste.